Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the Caring Caregiver Show. I'm your host, Savy, the founder of Gimme, which is a nonprofit organization caring for caregivers. And we're here to bring back the joy of caregiving and get rid of the drudgery that comes with caregiving. Just embrace all that wonderful joy and create memories. That's what we do. That's what Give Me a Break is all about. And I'm going to get that banner up there for you. There we go. And you can check out our website. Just go to gab808.org, get more information. And of course, you can fill out our support request form. Now, that support request form doesn't necessarily mean that you're so in need, you need some. It's just a great way to get connected to resources, get the information that you need, get questions answered. And we do our best to respond within 48 hours to all those requests. And I want to put it out there right now that some of you, I know, don't go on the computer. So you can contact us by texting 808-754-3787. Please bear in mind that phone travels from one volunteer to another, and your request may take up to 72 hours to get a response. So I appreciate your patience. It's not always available, and sometimes those texts have to be forwarded to somebody who can answer your question. So please, I appreciate your patience, caregivers. We're doing our best to get to all of you. And if it's an emergency, call 911. If you're in crisis, and being a caregiver sometimes is the chaos of crisis, isn't it? Please contact the Suicide Center, 988, right? Just dial 988. There are wonderful people there who can be there for you in that moment. You're worthy. You're special. You're wonderful. You're amazing. Take a deep breath and know that there are people out there who are here to support you. You can get through that moment. All right. So if we're not there to respond right away, contact 988, dial 988 on your phone or 911 and get the help that you deserve. All right, caregivers. I know it's hard. That was a deep breath one. Let's take one now. Reminds me of a time I had to dial the number. So you're not alone. All right. We're here to bring back that joy. Why? So you can survive, caregivers. You're high at risk. You need to survive and then go on to thrive even after that. Okay, we know it's hard. I know what you're up against. We're all caregivers just like you. I'm still caregiving. So you got this. All right. I don't know why my camera keeps moving, so I apologize for that. Okay. And if you need a break, just a break from that, you need community. Well, come log in and come to our support sessions. Here you go. And our support sessions, you guys know I want to change that, right? Our support sessions are every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So even if you're somewhere else, if you can make it at that time, I know it might be at 1 o'clock in the morning for you at some places because of this crazy daylight savings time. Please know that Hawaii does not have daylight savings time. All right. So make that adjustment and make sure that you're logging in at the correct time. It is 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So do a quick check and make sure what time it is there to hear if you're not here in Hawaii. But please join us. Any Tuesday at 8 p.m., we are here for you. We're a community of caregivers and provide you with a safe space. This is your positive safe space. This is where you can come and get connected, where you can learn, where you can share, where you can be with other caregivers just like you. In fact, right now we're talking about your care receiving plan. And your care receiving plan is something very important and a lot more than just having a will or a trust. In fact, that's what we're talking about last night. Do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between a will and a trust? Well, do you know? Join us and you will. Trust me. We're here for you. All right. So the Caring Caregiver Show is how Gimme Break gets the information out to you. And Giver's Guides is our online magazine that helps caregivers to get informed. It's written exclusively for caregivers by caregivers with a caregiver's point of view. And what you can do is make any donation of $25 to Give Me a Break, and you'll actually get a free subscription for 1 year. This month's issue, it's July, you guys. I'm so excited. It's summer. This month's issue really is all about, it's dedicated to sandwich caregivers. Sandwich caregivers, you don't know what that is? That's somebody who's sandwiched between two generations. So it could be a mom taking care of kids and their mom. It could be a teenager or a college student who is taking care of their brothers and sisters and a grandparent. You're sandwiched between two generations and you constantly caregiving. It's a tough place to be, and we're seeing this number grow more and more and more. And this month is your month. It's National Sandwich Caregiver Month. You'll notice there it says 7 tips for sandwich caregivers right there in the article. Trust me, you're going to want to read that. So $25 or more donation to Gimme a Break gets you a subscription. Just go to Gimme a Break 808 gab808.org and get your donation in and your subscription today. All right. Okay, let's take that off. We don't need it. So with that, everything that we do, right? And everything that Give Me a Break does is to keep you positive, to create a positive headspace, to keep you motivated. And this season, we've had the amazing honor of having Andy Pierce on with us from iBOUNCE Up at the beginning of each show to give you a motivational moment. So I'm going to turn that over to Andy. We have you here today. Hi, Andy. It's great to have you. I'm really looking forward to your motivational. Yes, great. Oh, is there a delay? I'm really looking forward to your motivational moment today. So I'm going to just sign off and turn it all over to you.
Okay, sounds good. So for the mindful moment today, I was, really thinking about something that would be really beneficial for each of you. And there's something that's so important that we need to do. And at some time during the day, we got to reset, right? Some days are easier than others. Some are harder than others. And if we have a system in place where we reset the emotions that we're experiencing, especially those negative emotions. So reset is really just something that we do to help us keep from feeling really strong negative emotions. And so it's really all about attention. And for just a moment, taking our attention and focusing on something that is positive in our lives. So there's 2 really main types of resets. There's things that we can do that take a moment. And so in other words, we can do it no matter where we're at. And then there's other things that it would take a little bit more time, right? So for instance, something that you can do in the moment, which I talked about before, is taking a deep breath. So just a couple deep breaths. And that will help you just calm the mind, calm the heart rate, which we talked about last time, or a couple times ago, or a couple shows ago. Another thing that we can do in the moment, maybe we can get our favorite snack, right? Something that will bring a little bit of joy. Maybe it's your favorite candy bar or your favorite trail mix, something that you can eat that you'll just, really like. And all your attention is on that one thing, right? That brings you positive energy. Some other things that you can do is think about a positive memory that you have. So right now, think for just a moment, what's some really positive, happy, exciting memory that you have that you can bring up? And just kind of think about it and stew and experience that positive emotion from that memory. So what you're doing there is you're resetting your attention to something positive, which then has the undoing effects of stress and negative emotion. And that's the whole purpose of it. And there might be things that you do. Maybe there's something you can do throughout the week that takes a little bit more time. So something like going on a swim, maybe going on a hike, maybe going to the beach, or doing something that just takes your attention from everything else and makes it difficult to think about anything else except for that time that you're there. Another really positive or very effective way that you can reset is also by calling either a family member or a loved one, someone that you care about, and just tell them about your day. Just talk to them. How many of you have been in a situation where you're just feeling uneasy or frustrated, and you have a conversation with somebody that you care about and you feel that connection with that other person, all of a sudden you feel much better, right? So you can use other people, not in a negative way. It's not like we're using them, but the strategy is by connecting with another person, which then impacts your own well-being. And so there's many different things that we can do. And so just think for a moment right now, what are some of the things that you can do, that you can plan and be very intentional bringing it into your life in very specific moments? And that's when it becomes very powerful, is because you are planning to use it and you use it when it's needed. And I've used this many times in my life. And as I do these little things, it brings little bits of joy in sometimes a chaotic world, which we live in. So thank you for your time, and I hope you guys can implement this in your lives, and you'll find that the benefit there.
Awesome. Awesome, Andy. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Look forward to next week's motivational moment.
All right.
Thank you. Aloha. All right. And you guys know you can get a hold of Andy at iBOUNCEUP.org. Okay. So iBOUNCE, like Tigger, iBOUNCEUP.org. You guys get a hold of Andy. If you need more than that, more than the motivational moment he's giving you, he's got more for you. All right. That was just amazing. And I really appreciate the things that Andy shares with us, especially when he's talking about taking those moments. Caregivers, you deserve time for wellness and self-care. You deserve that. There's no way that you should ever have to carry guilt with you to take care of you. Because if something happens to you, then who's going to care for the one you're caring for? Think about that, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting your balance. I mean, it could be 5 minutes to just check in on your senses, like he said, right? Taste something, right? Watch something, hear something, listen to music, whatever it takes. Do something just for you. Or if you have 5 hours, then by all means, make the most of those. Go for a walk, go for a run, and everything in between. The most important thing is that you take care of you and find your balance, okay? Now, in caregiving, there are all kinds of things that we need, right? And this is something I'll tell you. My first guest is someone that provides a very important service. And boy, is she somebody I wish I knew when I had mom with me. Because you know how it is. You can't always leave the home. You can't always get out. And sometimes you just need things. And you have to try and see if somebody can come to you. Well, my next guest can. She's a mobile notary public, right? You needed this. So please welcome my first guest today, Deb Boling, the owner of 808 Notary. Aloha, Deb. Welcome.
Aloha. Thank you. And aloha to all of our caregivers tuning in today. I really just want to start by honoring each of you for the love, for the patience, the dedication you bring to the people that you care for. Whether it's supporting a family member or caring for someone professionally, what you do truly does make a difference. And not just because I say so or because Savy says so, it's because it's the absolute truth. What you do makes a difference. And I'm grateful to be able to share this time with you. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes. And I second that emotion. Absolutely. In fact, Deb, you've had you've done some caregiving yourself. You want to share your caregiving story with our watchers?
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So my husband was military, 33 years, and we traveled to a lot of duty stations. And while we were stationed in one area, we became very good friends with an elderly couple in our church, and we kept in touch even after we PCS'd. We've been friends for almost 2 decades now.
Wow.
And we just became like family. And so we'll fast forward, COVID hit. She was hospitalized,
Oh my.
and she had 5 children, adult children, right? All of them older than me, actually. But she was time to come out of the hospital, and they weren't willing to care for her. They wanted to put her in a nursing home. And by this time, she was a widow. She had lost her husband, and I knew her, and I knew in my heart that that wasn't what she would have wanted. And she just deteriorated. So anyway, so I paused my life here in Hawaii. I flew out to the East Coast without even being asked. And I know all of you probably share that same sort of sentiment. You know, whenever there's a need, you just feel it. You're not going to wait, right?
Yeah.
So she was bedridden. She couldn't walk anymore. She couldn't brush her hair. She just had deteriorated to such a state. So I stepped in. I wanted to be in her corner. And it's always been ingrained in me that when you care about someone, whether it's a family or a longtime friend or even someone you've just met, it's just important to show up. When you see someone who needs help, you don't always have to have all the answers, which we often feel like we do, but we don't. We just have to show up and be there and stand alongside and make that difference. And it really opened up my eyes to how much it really does mean to stand beside somebody, right? Because I'm not a professional caregiver. I'm not a nurse. I'm not in the medical field.
None of us are, right?
But you adapt and you learn and you find these skills that you're just able to meet somebody's need. And again, it's just big or small. This changes a person's life, and just showing up matters more than we can ever know. I mean,
well, bless your heart for that. And I know that probably made her time that much more special, knowing that there was somebody who got it and who was there for her and understood, when you need to show up, there's a reason. And being guided like that is such a great thing. And being able to just sort of jump into it, that really speaks just volumes about your heart condition. And that I'm sure you take that and put that into your business, because not a lot of people would think to be mobile. And being mobile, especially not just, I mean, there was COVID and I understand that, but boy, when you're a caregiver, and there's a lot of things sometimes that need to have notary service. And that meant, for me, actually, that either meant getting to the bank or getting to a UPS store or wherever I could find something. But, it wasn't that easy. My mother was non-ambulatory. And at one point she was in a gurney and I couldn't take her out of it and put her in a chair. She had to stay in the gurney, which meant that I would have to hire transportation that could accommodate a gurney and then take that transportation out, gurney her into a place. If you can just imagine what this is like with my mother on a gurney, and a gurney is a movable bed, folks. And that's like wheeling my mother in and out of an establishment. And this is just, it's horrible. I know I'm not alone as a caregiver, what you have to do. But even before that, if I had to put her into a wheelchair, just that whole experience of loading somebody into the car and loading them into. So if you can have a mobile service of any kind, and of course mine was before anybody was doing anything mobile. So when I heard about you and you go to a person's home, it's like, the heavens open up and you go, oh, yay. Thank you for that. And your service area covers where?
All of Oahu. I even service some of the other, I service all of the islands, but primarily it's Oahu.
Wow.
Anywhere.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure you've had situations where you had to help a caregiver who needed a notary service. But boy, I'll tell you, thank you for that. Yeah. But what made you want to be a notary?
So I actually retired from Apple as an executive with Apple. And to be perfectly honest, long story short, I just prayed about it. What am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? So I did some volunteer work for a little bit. And so anyway, I ended up praying about it, and this is what came to me. I just love meeting people where they are. I've seen people in joyful times. I've seen people in the lowest of times, and everybody deserves dignity and respect and discreetness, and people matter to me. Relationships matter. Anybody can notarize anything. Yeah. So that's how I came into the notary thing. I'm not really peoply, but I'm peoply. I'm intensely private, but I love being a blessing to people any way that I can. 100%.
And see, that's what I love about what you just said. You just said that, people deserve their privacy. And, I'm sitting there with my mom in a gurney, or at that point was a wheelchair, in a UPS store, and, documents are all over the place, and they're making copies, and there's people everywhere. And yeah. And she's got dementia, wondering why we're there. And, and it's like, yeah. So being able to have that in the privacy of your own home, gosh, that goes without saying. And the fact that you've been divinely guided to do so, all the more reason to be able to support choosing Deb's service, you guys, at 808 Notary. And, I have it on the screen right there. You can get a hold of Debbie. You can get a hold of Deb at 808-978-6948. I have had a hard time with this number since I was plugging it in, didn't I? What is that? All right, let's try it again. So it's 808. I love it. See, I'm doing this all for you. You know that, right? So 808notary.net, 808-978-6948. Got that? I'm not saying it again. Rewind the tape if you need the number, folks. Oh, anything you want to share with our caregivers as a final thought?
Reach out to me. It's just a conversation. You know what? I do a lot of pro bono. I do a lot of deeply discounted work. I'm not in this to make gobs of money. Just reach out to me. If I can help you, I will. I would love to be a resource for you, a friend, anything. Just give me a call, send me a text. I would love to meet you and support you. And, that's really it. I want you to feel cared for and supported, and to be that extra bit of reassurance as you're going through these changes of seasons. And I guess that's it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And thanks for taking time to be on the show and to share what you do with all of our caregivers.
All right.
Really appreciate it. Wonderful. Aloha, Deb.
Aloha.
Okay, great. Got it. And there you go. So again, you can contact Deb at 808notary.net, 808-978-6948. And I said I wouldn't do it again. I did it just for you. But wow, what a great service and what a great heart. She'll help you out. And, this is why we bring resources. This is why we do what we do on the Caring Caregiver Show. Bring people who have these heart conditions to you because they're caregivers and they get it. They know you're struggling. You're not just struggling emotionally, physically, but even financially. They get it. But you need help. And here's some help for you. Right? So mahalo for all that you do, Deb. And thank you so much for sharing with us on the show. And, remember that this show is being brought to you by Gimme a Break. That's our nonprofit organization, and Givers Guides online magazine. And we've now merged. So Gimme a Break now is the umbrella for Givers Guides and for the Caring Caregiver Show, all covered under our 401c3. And so your donations directly pay the bills. They go direct. There's no more separate Givers Guides online magazine.com. It is all under Give Me a Break now. And that's why if you make your $25 donation, you get a year's subscription. And your donation goes directly to help our caregivers. It's a tax deductible donation on top of that. So it's a wonderful thing. And we appreciate all of you who have helped us and donated and supported us through all of these times through the past 5 years of what we've been doing. It's been a great 5 years, really. It has. Isn't it just an amazing time to be a caregiver, knowing that you have a community and that you can have joy in what you do? Well, I'm also going to put it out there. I want to tell you that all of you who have supported us, I thank you. And for those of you who want to continue to support us, to celebrate, I'm going to offer a free pamper kit that we'll mail to you to the first 25 people who donate $25 before the end of this month. So you donate $25, you're going to get a 1-year subscription to our Givers Guides magazine, online magazine, and you're going to get a free pamper kit coming your way. Do that before the end of the month. So the first 25 people who do so. That's our way of celebrating the fact that we've got it all under Give Me a Break now and celebrating all of you who care so much for caregivers. So thank you for that. Now, being a caregiver doesn't, she's what did she say? She said, we're not professionals, right? We're not a professional caregiver. Well, maybe you want to be. Maybe you want to put a little bit more to what you're doing as a caregiver, caring for the one you love. Maybe you need a caregiver mastery course. Well, my next guest has just that. He is the founder of 4 Family Caregivers, and he wasn't able to be here as well because of caring for his caregiving duties. However, we did tape his interview earlier, and I want to share that with you. So please welcome Rick Henkin of 4 Family Caregivers. Aloha, Rick. So wonderful to have you here. I'm so excited to have you. Hi. Yeah. Great. Where in the world are you located right now?
I'm so far away from you. I'm in Los Angeles.
Wow. That's a short swim in the morning, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
Back paddle our way over to LA. Well, boy, you've been going through a lot there, and I'm sure caregivers are all really struggling. But I'd love to share your caregiving story so that our community can know how you kind of come to be where you are.
Okay.
But tell us a little bit about your caregiving story and how that got you to where you are.
Okay. In the fall of 2019, I noticed my wife Sonia, she had no attention span. And she couldn't even sit still. We're watching TV. Wait for the commercial, Sonia. Wait for the commercial. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take her to see somebody. Let's see. Hopefully they can adjust her medication. She was taking antidepressants at the time. But I didn't want to take her to her primary care physician. I wanted to take her to people who specialize in brain issues.
Right.
So I found the Pacific Neuroscience Institute in Santa Monica. They have a national reputation. Took Sonia there. The whole time on the way, she goes, why are we going to this appointment? She says, you need this appointment. I don't need it. There's something wrong with you. I mean, she's resisting everything. So we get in there, and the psychologist or gerontologist does a few different tests because there's different parts of the brain processed differently. And she did okay. And then he got to the infamous clock test. For those of you who may not be aware of it, he asks her to draw a circle, draw the numbers of a clock, and then draw the hands showing 10 to 11. She just stared at it. Literally 5 minutes went by. She could not do it.
Wow.
And we both started to cry. And that's when she recognized that she did have a problem. At that time, it was diagnosed as, mild cognitive behavior. That's not the word. You know what I'm thinking of.
Yes,
I can't.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so they said it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It would take, they have to do a bunch of tests to figure out what type of dementia Sonia had. And after several months in January, they did PET scans. They finally did an amyloid PET scan, and they decided that she had Alzheimer's. She was diagnosed in January 2020 at the age of 65.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of our journey. And, at the beginning, it was okay. It was just a memory issue.
Right, right.
And, eventually her doctor notified the DMV that she couldn't drive anymore because she was not as careful of a driver anymore. And then later, this was big, about a year later, she developed Capgras syndrome, which is named after a French psychologist from the 1920s. Capgras is an irrational belief that the person whose face she recognizes, me, is an imposter. We'd be sitting on the sofa and she'd look at me and say, "Where do you live? I
Right.
want you out of here or I'm going to go call the police." And she'd run next door to the neighbors and tell them about the
Wow.
stranger in the house.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, I took a walk. I take a walk for 30, 45 minutes. I come home and find her crying, wondering where I'd been because she had no recollection of what took place. And
Wow.
it added a lot of tension, of course, to our relationship. At that point, I wasn't obviously as familiar with everything as I am now,
Yeah.
but there was a lot of tension. And she was going to daycare, and it was for people with dementia issues. And they loved her there. She'd help them set up the activities, break down the activities. But when
Wow.
she got home, it was a different story. You never knew what you were going to get. We live in a duplex, which is a two-story apartment building. My son and his family live upstairs with two of our granddaughters. We have six granddaughters. And she'd run up there every night, just bang on the door 15, 20 times a night. They refused to answer it. She was scaring the granddaughters.
Oh,
She's a woman that used to be on the floor. She was their best friend, makeup,
yes.
dress up, all of that.
Oh my goodness.
And one day, my son calls me upstairs. His wife is from Oregon, and the kids were visiting up in Oregon. And he says, "Oh, I want to tell you about this new job I'm looking for." And I said, "Oh, cool. I'm interviewing for." It was in Ashland, Oregon. And my heart just sunk. It's like, "You're abandoning me." And he said, "It's the most difficult decision you ever had to make, my mother or my family. My family's got to come first." Just so your listeners know, he ended up staying here because what happened next was I thought, okay, I got to get serious about this. I didn't want to do anything that was just expedient for me. I didn't feel that was right. So I called up her neurologist. I called up her psychologist and her nurse practitioner, and I said, "Why is Sonia so wonderful when she's at daycare and at home, it's crazy?" And I was told it's because at daycare she has structured activities, and at home it's the Wild West. And they all thought it was probably time for her to move into a memory care facility.
Wow.
So, with their blessing, so to speak, I did that. Again, I didn't want to do it on my own because it was easier for me. And I
No,
visited Sonia
I
all the
understand
time.
that.
I visited Sonia all the time, and I explained to my caregivers that you want to become buddies with everybody there, the executive director, the memory care director, the caregivers, because they're looking out for your loved one.
Yeah.
And every time I'd show up, I'd just go into their office. We'd sit and talk, about other things in caregiving. We became friends, exchanged mobile, cell numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sonia was there for about 22 months until April of last year, 2024. I brought her home because the money had run out, quite honestly. And she's different now. She's much easier. She's much more compliant, if that's a good word to use.
Yeah, it's a term
And
used, yes.
and our relationship is different. But when she was at daycare, I have to tell you, I couldn't stay there for more than an hour or two. Not daycare, at the memory care facility,
Mm.
because I still had residual anger from all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I also realized that the burden of care is a significant medical phenomenon and can really take its toll on the caregivers. I read a survey in the Journal of the American Medical Association that said family caregivers have a 63% higher risk of dying than their peers who aren't caregivers. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Who aren't caregivers. I thought I turned it off.
That's okay.
I wasn't about to let that happen to me. So, okay, good, Rick. Now what are you going to do? So I looked online figuring, well, this can't be a new issue. There's got to be answers on there.
Right. Right.
Website after website, I found the same basic information.
Yeah.
Take a break, find 15 minutes,
Yeah,
exercise, walk.
yeah.
I mean, it's all helpful information, but it had nothing to do with my feelings and my emotions.
There was no really a structured course.
No, we're all on our own.
And it's sort of helter-skelter information that you have to pick and choose all the time, right? I can totally
Yeah.
relate to that. Yes,
We-
I know. So that
we
kind of
live on the
pushed you
go.
that. So of course that cued you to go, I'm creating a course.
Well, not yet, but what it did was it made me realize that, okay, it's up to me.
Yeah.
I have to do something. What am I going to do? And I did more research, and finally I realized I've got to change my mindset and look at things differently because my health was incredibly important to me. And even now, look, I still get frustrated, I get stressed, but I catch myself.
Yeah.
And I ask myself, how is this benefiting my health? How is this restricting me? And by changing my mindset,
Mm-hmm.
Tony and I have a much better relationship because if I'm calm and I'm cool and collected, well, it's better for her too.
Yeah. You
And
learn some of those triggers, right? Yeah.
I'll tell you what brought this about. One day I was driving I was driving on the street and I saw a quote from Maya Angelou painted on a wall. And it said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And that hit for me. So then I decided, okay, I came through. I came through all of this. I came through to what I call my heaven island, which is a place of peace and clarity where I can give Sonia the best care without losing myself.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I can help other people. And I didn't know what was out there. So I went on Facebook, dozens and dozens of groups for family caregivers whose loved ones have dementia. And those groups, tens of thousands of members, and I started reading their comments.
Yes.
And it broke my heart. All they were doing was ranting and raving. My life is over. When's this going to end?
Yeah.
One
But
woman
no
was
solutions. No solutions.
Yeah, one woman was contemplating suicide because
Yes.
it's easier than taking care of her husband.
Yeah. Been there, done
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, and I thought, okay, I got to put something together based on my experience, and that's what I did. So Caregiver Mastery System was born at that point.
And this is one of the reasons why I loved, and I really wanted to have you on the show and talk to you about this as well, is because, this is born out of chaos. And it's so funny that you talk about, I'm going to talk about that at the end, but, we go from calm to chaos in a moment. And,
Right.
and when we're in chaos, we absolutely can't operate. And so we have to find that calm. And I love that one of the things you talk about is, being able to let go of stress, let go of guilt, and find peace. Because that's something I talk about all the time with our caregiving community. And it's kind of the foundation of your caregiving mastery course. And so let's talk about that course and what it does for our caregivers.
Well, it gets you to that heaven island. I mean, that's what I call it. As long as you're willing to work on yourself. And I didn't create a course to add one more thing for people to do. It's not to put more stuff on your plate.
Right.
The course is divided into small bite-sized modules with some exercises. And I guarantee people that if they spend 15 minutes a day, that's it. If they don't see significant changes in 2 or 3 weeks, which they will, I'll give them their money back. Because the way I started, I gave out the courses for free because I wanted to get some feedback. And it far exceeded my expectations. One woman said, people are saying you're smiling again. Her husband had dementia and he had cancer. And she was trying to do all of this stuff herself. I mean, and yeah, it made me feel gratified. I mean, that's really what I was looking for, somebody to say that it helped them.
Yeah, we do that. We kind of come out of it at one point and find that peace. And then you want to share that peace. And because we're caregivers, we find a passion mission. And I love that this is yours because it's something that can so benefit caregivers. And I like another phrase that I saw on your website that said, caregiving doesn't have to break you. And I love that this course will help you to find your way in your journey so that you can survive it.
Absolutely.
Because it's scary. And that 63% statistic that you talked about for just family caregivers, when we take all caregivers into consideration, it averages out to 50% don't survive, but 63% for family caregivers is just that's just terrifying. And really motivates, because should motivate every single one of us to get educated, because what you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
what you do know can save you. Yeah.
One of the things I say to caregivers is what if the biggest source of stress in your caregiving journey isn't your loved one's behavior, but your reaction to it, which is really the truth.
Yes.
It's not them. You're not upset or angry or frustrated because of what they did. It's because of what you choose to think about what they did, and you have a choice in your thoughts.
Yes. Yeah. It's your reactions that make all the difference,
Yeah.
but you have to sort of learn that, and you have to sort of come to terms with it. And I love that. And I love that your course offers all of that. And so folks, you can go to caregivermasterycourse.com. It's caregivermasterycourse.com. We'll have it here on a little banner underneath. You'll be able to see that. And of course, if you're still not ready to commit to that, and go to the website and check it out, because there's also videos that you have of those who've gone through the course. And I think it's wonderful that you can look at those videos, see other caregivers, hear their stories, and learn how it helped them. And so I love that you've done that, because that's really testimonies that caregivers can see and hear and understand that. This is something that helps them. And then we're not trying to get you to just take a course that's not going to benefit you. This is really a course that's going to get you where your heart is, where your heart of caregiving is, I feel. And if you're not ready, that's okay. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you offer a free guide as well.
Right. That's more caregiving tips, but which doesn't have as much, it really doesn't have anything to do with your mindset. It's just,
Right.
try to get them to go to the bathroom or whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
But I love it because it's called Calm to Chaos.
Yeah, calm to chaos.
And that's
Yeah.
what I talk about all the time. So it's it's a nice little guide to sort of get those tips in managing these behaviors that dementia has. I actually shared one on the show last week, which was, sometimes we just have to take a breath and get away from the situation. And I would always use my oops. That was my oops clause, right? And I would go,
Yeah.
oh, oops, I think I left something on the stove. I'll be right back. And I would run out of the room. And then, of course, by the time I went back in 5 or 10 minutes, she had no recognition of anything that had happened previously. So
Right.
when she would get heated and things would get heated, I would oops them. And oops, oh, the
Yeah.
laundry's done. I got to go. I'll be right back.
Right.
Oh, oops, I think I hear the phone ringing. I'll get it. I'll be right back. And of course, that startle kind of woke her up. And then when I left, there was no one to continue the behavior with. So by the time I got back, it was forgotten. And the beauty of
Yeah.
dementia is that it lives in 5-minute increments. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
I
that
used-
was kind of like the tips you have in your guide there too.
Yeah.
Right?
I used to joke way back at the beginning that if Sony got mad at me for something, if I just waited for a few minutes, she'd forget all about it and it's like a redo, a start over.
It's a start over.
But that's another thing, if I may. I realized a few months ago when I was getting Sonia ready for bed that we caregivers all have this incredible opportunity, or a gift, if you will, to make the rest of their life joyful or miserable, which isn't a role that we're normally in with other people. And I decided I'm going to make her life as joyful as I possibly can. I don't want to look back and say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have said that. Because all the stuff that bothers you now, you're going to forget all of that when they're gone.
Yep.
All you can remember is the good memories and wish you had done other things so you had more of those.
Yeah.
That's really the
And
truth of
and making memories is so important.
Yeah.
And I love that you shared that. And we're short on time, and I can't tell you enough. I don't want to miss anything. But how about one last thing that you could share that our community of caregivers that you really feel is an important thought to leave them with?
I think an important thought is to realize that you have the choice in your thoughts. You can let all these things, drive you crazy, elevate your blood pressure, shorten your life, or not. It's up to you. We don't have to believe our thoughts. They're just thoughts. They're not absolute truth.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can change them tells you that.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily an easy concept. It sounds easy to hear. You have to work at it, but that's what my course is about. And again, it's not something that's onerous, that's going to just, oh my God, I can't, I don't have the time. It's just not like that.
Yeah.
It's just not like that.
Yeah. And it's no negative moment is worth it. Yeah.
No,
And I love
no.
that. So that's a great thought to share. Thank you. And you also have a Facebook group. You guys can check it out right there. You
Yeah.
can look at the bottom of the screen, the Facebook group for family caregivers. So you can check out Rick's Facebook group as well. Go to caregivermasterycourse.com, get educated, because, education is the best way for us to cope with any situation. And when we're thrown into chaos, that's the one thing we let go of. And we
Yeah.
just start going into panic mode. So take a deep breath and do something positive for
Absolutely.
yourself. Yeah.
Savvy, can I say one last thing? Because
Yes.
I think it's important. And that is that no matter how amazing a caregiver you are, the disease is still going to go forward. So you're not in control of the disease's progress. But remember, you're doing the best you can, and that's good enough.
Yes. Yes.
That's
I love that thought. Thank you so much, Rick. And
Yeah.
thanks for coming on today. I
Oh,
really
thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, great. So,
All right.
again, you guys, you can contact Rick at caregivermasterycourse.com or check out the Facebook group, because you're probably on
Yeah.
Facebook watching us live today. And so go for family caregivers right after this and check out Rick's group and get in touch with him either way. Still not ready to commit. That's okay. He's got a backup plan for you as well. You can get a free guide. And what a great thing you do. And I appreciate your heart and kindness,
Thank you, Sarah.
and wish you nothing but the best. And so thank you so much for sharing with our caregivers today.
Thank you
Aloha.
for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yes. Aloha. Thanks, Rick. And there I am. And I'm back. Wait, I can't find myself. All right. Hold on. There we go. Technical. This is why this is why I need a tech person, you guys. I can't find myself. I'm clicking buttons all over the place. Oh, God, love it. Don't you just love technology? What a great person. Still going through it, still dealing with his wife and her Alzheimer's, and now offering education for other caregivers. Again, this is education that's not about how to take care of someone. This is how to take care of you, how to improve your mindset, how to get through it, because that's really what we can control, right? As caregivers, there's so little we can control, but we can control our mindset and we can control how we survive this. So check it out. Thank you so much again, Rick. What a great opportunity to share. And I'll keep bringing as many resources as I can to all of you whenever I can, and in every show. So thank you for that. And thank you, Rick. And thank you, Deb, today. A reminder, by the way, at 5:30 today, and it is currently now Hawaii Standard Time, almost 1. It's about 1:45. At 5:30 today, Strolling. So we're doing Strolling with Savy today at the Kuli'o'o Beach Park. Get there about 5:15. Please wear comfortable clothing. Plan on walking in the water. Put on your slipper. Don't wear shoes and socks. So show up and come down. We're going to do some meditation. We're going to maybe even get a primal yell in today. Hopefully weather looks wonderful. And so super excited to see just how far we can walk out. Last time we went out a good amount and we were only in water up to our ankles. So the sandbar is a great thing. Come out and join us. Look forward to seeing all the caregivers that can make it today at 5:30 for Strolling with Savy. Next week, we'll have Raymond Levine, who will speak to us about long-term care benefits. And I know there's a lot of information about long-term care benefits, but you'll hear it right from Raymond next week. And also we'll have more motivation from Andrew. The Caring Caregiver Show, that's all we're all about, connecting you to resources. And my feeling is that if you see the person, hear their story, then they're doing it because they've been through it. So they get you. What a great resource to have, right? These are not just somebody who thought, hey, caregivers, that's a good demographic, I'm gonna try to make money off of them. No. These are caregivers who said, you know what we needed? We needed this. Well, then I'm going to do something about it. And that's that passion mission, right? This season 15 is filled with amazing resources for all of you. And you don't want to miss a single show. So put a reminder in your phone every day, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon. Have it go off and remind you. to come and watch the Caring Caregiver Show. You watch us live on many platforms. Right now, we're streaming live on 7 platforms simultaneously. And you can do it. Of course, if you miss it, don't worry. We go on podcast a week after each show, and you can listen to us anytime you want, right in your ear. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, any platform that has a podcast. Just type in Caring Caregiver Show. If you need more information, you can go to our website for the Caring Caregiver Show, which is caringcaregivershow.com, and you can listen to any audio there as well. So you don't even have to go onto an app. You can just listen to it right there. And of course, available on the Gimme a Break website. Whatever you do, folks, just stay connected. Stay connected. And congratulations to last week's winners that won the free download of Jonathan's book, Final Approach. Congratulations. You all received your link and confirmed that through Messenger. So I'm so happy those got out to you. Enjoy the story, and know that there's a learning in every story, in every caregiver story. So keep that in mind. Stay connected to your community. We all have a story to share, and we can all be there for one another. And keep checking us out on our Facebook page as well, the Gimme a Break Facebook page, and on our website, gab808.org. And remember, caregivers, just what Andy had said, breathe. Just take a breath. You deserve that. It's one of the greatest and easiest things you can do for yourself. Here's hoping that you're finding more joy in caregiving every week right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. And thanks for tuning in. Please always be kind to yourself, and especially to those who care. Aloha, everyone. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.